Respected Pankaj Bhai, Professor Bharat Bhaskar, ladies and gentlemen, it really is wonderful to be here today. Not least of all, because it brings back so many memories which I treasure. And this, despite the fact that the strongest memory that I have of my alma mater is that of feeling like I was inside a pressure cooker for 2 years. The panic, the self-doubt, the tears, the mad rush to meet deadlines, the successes, the failures, and then every now and then, the whistle of the cooker would release the pressure, only to build up again. It felt like torture. But in hindsight, how to deal with being inside a pressure cooker was perhaps one of the most valuable learnings I took away from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Cut to today, and I ask myself, what is it I can possibly say that could be even remotely useful to some of the best and brightest young minds of the country? Well, there are 3 things I would like to share and hope that you do find them useful. First, I would like to share how much fun I've had in the last 3.5 decades. It's possible. And what is it, on reflection, that I think was at the core of my journey? Second, as you go through your own journey, if you are having a blast, don't think too much. Just enjoy yourself. But if you are facing a dilemma, if there is some noise in your head, what are the 4 questions that you can ask yourself that might help you navigate your journey? That's the second thing I would like to share with you. Third, I would like to share with you my enthusiasm and optimism for the opportunity that I believe you have in our country today. My generation was a very fortunate generation. We participated in the dawn of the new India. Your generation, in my view, is even more fortunate. You are on your way to seeing the high noon of the new India. So why was it that I enjoyed the last 35 years so much? Firstly, the sheer variety of stuff that I got to do. Creating and building new businesses. Being an entrepreneur within the safe harbor of a large organization. Enjoying every ounce of empowerment that we were given. And now, for the last 6.5 years, bringing to bear all that I learned to being a regulator and having the amazing opportunity to create impact, not just at an organization level, but at an ecosystem level. In my wildest dreams, I could not have asked for more. On reflection, what was it that has been at the core of my journey? What has defined me? What has defined the way that I work? What has been my mantra, my temperament, my swabhav, my fitrat? In effect, what has been my default setting that possibly makes me, at one level, entirely predictable every single day? I believe that at a conscious and subconscious level, my mantra has been very, very simple. Do the right thing, no matter how hard. Leave no stone unturned, no matter how hard. The wonderful thing about this mantra is, 8 times out of 10, you actually succeed. And the 2 times that you don't, you have absolutely no regrets. So it's a pretty nifty strategy. Pretty good odds of success and no regrets whatsoever. Let me share a short story with you on this. This relates to when I was running the client-side treasury business of the bank, ICICI Bank. It was around 2006, 2007. I had just taken over the business, and I really didn't understand the world of FX derivatives at all. So for about a month, I took tutorials from a young officer, 2.5 hours every day, to get to grips with the basics. Then I graduated to actually sitting in the dealing room and listening in on the telephonic confirmations that the clients gave on their deals. Now this really, really worried me. The deal confirmation script was so full of jargon, I couldn't believe that any normal human being on the other side of the line understood a word of what he was confirming. I mean, I had taken tutorials for a month and I barely understood half of what was being said. So I took a decision. I rewrote the entire script in simple English on what exactly was the upside and the downside of the deal where the client was agreeing. Now remember, this was a time when the most popular deals were where exporters sold options on currency pairs. Their upside was the premium that they earned. The downside potentially could be anything. Anything. When I changed the script, the team was aghast. My team was aghast. This is not the market practice, they said. The clients will run away to competition, they said. We won't meet our 800 crore profit target, they said. I had only one answer. What is the right thing to do? Simple. And if we do the right thing, will we have to work harder to meet our targets? Perhaps. But that is what we are going to do. Cut to 2008. The global financial crisis hits the world, and the most popular currency pair of Swiss franc to US dollar is in deep trouble. Our clients have tens of crores of losses, some of them hundreds of crores of losses. Globally, lawsuits are flying left, right, and center. Banks are struggling to collect from their clients. One large diamond exporter client walks into my office, red in the face, raging. The bank missold these options to my CFO, he says. I will sue you. I politely request him to sit down and listen to just one call recording. The bank officer is saying, sir, you are selling an option for 100 mio. If the Swiss franc versus USD crosses X threshold, you will lose 5 crores. If it crosses Y threshold, you would lose 20 crores. If it crosses Z threshold, you will lose 50 crores, and so on. Would you like to proceed? The CFO says yes. The recording ends. I look at the client. He looks at me. And in the most gracious manner that I have ever seen, he says, how much time can the bank give me to pay for my losses? Doing what is right is just that. It is right. It is usually the harder path. It takes a lot to traverse that path, but it is the right thing to do. By the way, that year, 2007, we almost got to our 1,800 crore profit target. As far as my second mantra is concerned, of leave no stone unturned, I'm afraid I will not tell you a story. I have a long list of colleagues, as well as bosses, who would testify to the fact that I'm not only a very difficult boss to work with, but an almost impossible subordinate to work with, because I just won't give up. Until a problem has been dissected to the last degree, I will not give up. My colleagues often tell me that problem solving with me is like peeling an onion. It makes everybody cry in the process, But by the time you are done peeling layer after layer after layer of the onion, you suddenly realize that there's no problem left. So when India became the first large market in the world to move to T+1 settlement, and just 2 days ago when we went live with optional T+0 settlement, the process felt pretty much the same. Lots of onion peeling happened to make for a global first. So this is what has worked for me. Doggedly following the mantra of do what is right, no matter how hard, and leave no stone unturned, no matter how hard. Each one of you will discover your own mantra, your own personal superpower, your own mojo, your own default setting within which it is effortless for you to operate. And until you find that special mantra, it is as though you have a quiver full of arrows, some sharp, some not so sharp. And as you take aim at the goals that you choose, you may find that your sharp arrows work perfectly well, wonderful, or that you need to sharpen some of your arrows. Each one of your arrows will bear your unique stamp. Your time, your commitment, your energy, your passion, your intellect, your knowledge, your EQ, your you. And as you journey along, if it feels effortless and you're enjoying yourself, don't overthink it. Just go with the flow. But if you face a dilemma, if you're not so sure of the direction you are taking or your life is taking, perhaps it might help to ask the following 4 questions. Number 1, what exactly is my mantra? What exactly is my core? What exactly is my mojo? Second question, what goal am I taking aim at? Am I sure that this is the goal I want to shoot for? Third, is my mantra a match for the goal that I'm aiming for? Or is it a square peg in a round hole? If it's a match, it's great. If not, maybe I need to rethink my mantra, or maybe rethink my goal. The last question is one of timing. All of the first 3 questions need to be answered by each one of us at a point in time. There will be, and don't expect there to be, the same questions and the same answers right through your life. It will not happen. When you are 25, you will have different goals. When you're 40, different. At 55, quite different altogether. When you're single, when you're married, when you're a parent, all quite different. The only thing I can share with you is that you have plenty of time. Over a working career that could possibly span 40 years or more, there is plenty of time for you to achieve what you want, provided you bring your A game to it. In today's multidimensional and multivariate world, there are an infinite set of combinations of which mantra can help you achieve which goal. You just need to make sure that you find the fit at a point in time, and as time progresses and your journey progresses, that you are agile in terms of the arrow that you choose from your quiver and in terms of the goal that you choose to shoot towards. Lastly, I would like to share with you once again my enthusiasm and optimism for the opportunities that I believe you have in our country today. Particular shout out to our agri friends. As I said earlier, my generation got to ride the wave of the dawn of a new India. You will get to see the high noon of the new India. Everywhere there is opportunity for growth, for inclusion, for entrepreneurship, for breaking the mold, and for leading the world. It's a wonderful time to be 25. Interestingly, it's also a wonderful time to be 60. Jai Hind.